Give me the thumbs up today. Look at the fireworks. I love me fireworks. Look. How you doing, brother? You okay?
I'm doing awesome today. So I have a German joke for you.
Go ahead. Okay.
Okay, here comes the German joke for you. So what kind of car does an egg drive? A Volkswagen.
Volkswagen. Brilliant, Scotty. Always love it. My wife's looking at me very strangely.
Little dad humor.
Well, I love the dad humour, mate. So how are you on this beautiful Sunday?
Doing awesome today on Sunday. All footballed up because the Patriots are playing. They're tied right now, so that's cool. At least they're not getting their butt kicked again. Seems to be that way this year, but that's okay. I love football anyway. And how's the Sunday treating you? It's your Sunday night now for you.
Yeah, Sunday evening, man. Just having a chilled day, and yeah, had a good day really. So just went and done a little job, and my wife went to church, and just relaxed really. Just a nice chilled Sunday. Just what the doctor ordered, Scotty.
So I'm sure that everybody's anxious to know about your trip to Germany. You know, we wanted to know, how did Germany treat you? You know, we wanted to make sure our little brother got treated right over in Germany. But one of the fun things I wanted you to talk about right away was, how was that cup of coffee?
Well, you know, it was an absolutely blessing and amazing trip, and so many fantastic experiences were had by me personally and the whole community of the All Shift Happily Now community who came to the conference. But yes, on the first day, the first morning, I was talking to Tim, and I said, I got to say, man, you know, as you well know, I have a nice ritual of my morning coffee. It's we quite often, it's our first voice note of the day. And I said to Tim, I said, man, I'm really missing there's no coffee. And then he started to explain to me about the different waters they had in this ashram we were staying at. And there was different types of waters. Some of them were oxygenized, so they had oxygen put through them. Some of them had frequencies put through them. Some of them had minerals and stuff added to them. Some of them had information and stuff stored in through frequency. And basically, one of these waters, Tim goes, this water here, Brett, it's better than coffee. You know, I wasn't convinced personally. So, okay, Tim, I'll give it a try. So the next morning, I think I messaged you. I woke up, said, I'm going to go and try my coffee water. Went down there, and it just did not cut it. You know, it really didn't. Nice water though, mind as water goes, but I certainly missed my coffee. And in the end, I found out there was a cafe there that was all organic and it wasn't real milk, but I still managed to find my beautiful coffee there. So that was good.
That was awesome. And yeah, the waters and stuff, I mean, that sounds special too. And yeah, it's just, you know, that thing of when you have coffee, you're so used to that, you know, nice strong cup of coffee, nice hot cup of coffee. And, you know, water is, you know, wonderful. Everybody loves water. You know, water is powerful. Water is, you know, healing. But, you know, when you're setting your ways with a cup of coffee, you know, it doesn't smell the same. It just smells like water. But yeah, I believe in water healing. And yeah, that's awesome about the water. So I really like that. That's really special. Thought we'd jump into it. I'd like to, you know, hear about your first night and also about, you know, the oak tree. That would be awesome to hear about, little brother.
Yeah, man, awesome. I'd kind of like to start, if that's okay, about obviously I won the scholarship, so that, you know, I was gifted and chosen for the scholarship by Tim Sarasula, Sarah Brexman, Kadridge Olson, and the beautiful Debbie Solaris. So yeah, I mean, I was in Romania at the time, and we were at my wife's family. They have a foundation in Romania called Fonio, which they basically look after the gypsy people. I went there and I met my wife, and I was in construction there for building the houses for them. But once a year, as you well know, we go to this beautiful kids camp where many of the kids in poverty, where their parents aren't there, we bring 100 gypsy kids to this kids camp. So I was there. I'm on the All Shift Happily Now meditation. I missed it that night because the first night in the kids camp, we had complaints in my room, and it was only me and my two daughters. And even the gypsy kids, they were very well behaved. And so the next night I couldn't do the meditation. So I listened to it in the morning, and then I saw this opportunity. And I'd been having a great calling that I must go to this conference. I was getting a strong message that I must go, I will go. and I wasn't in the financial situation to do it. And amazingly and magically, they offered this scholarship. So I had my morning coffee, I drank that, and I walked down in the beautiful scenery in Romania, where there's a nice little path and beautiful houses. And I gave out a video, and I spoke from my heart. And I shared the video on. There was hundreds of people applied for the scholarship. And I was blessed one night. You know, I do speak to Tim occasionally because some of the pages I'm involved in with disclosure. And Tim sneakily said, Brett, do you want to come? Do you want to chat? I want to do some videos for your page. You know, it's a very successful page, Cosmic Disclosure Community, it was at the time. And so I got speaking to Tim, and he goes, do you want to quickly come on live on Instagram? I'm like, well, you know me, I love a live. So I went on, and then he surprised me and blessed me with the scholarship. So I really want to say thank you for the All Shift Happily Now community and team that all put my name forward. You know, I'm very blessed for that. And so I won the scholarship. I got my ticket straight away to Germany. And yeah, the first night I flew, I had 3 flights, so overlay. So it's a lot of flying to get to Germany. I got picked up by Ovi, he's also from Romania, and his beautiful wife, Monica, which I know from some of the courses I've been on with Tim and through the meditations. So he picked me up from the airport. It was about an hour drive, 45-minute, an hour drive. We were talking in there. I was talking about some of my experiences. We had a mini conference in the car. We connected and bonded straight away, which was good. I arrived there a little bit late, just after the opening ceremonies and whatnot. And it was time for dinner, which was all vegan, all vegetarian meals, very nice meals. Not always my go-to, shall we say. And I walked straight in there in the hall, and I see Tim. So I was like, hey, Tim. And he's like, Brett, come and sit next to me. So the first night I had dinner with Tim. And then we went into this fantastic ancient oak tree on the land of the ashram, which is the ashram is the biggest spiritual center of its kind in Europe, and it's in Germany, which, you know, an incredible place. You know, there's many people on spiritual journeys there. Some people can go there and they don't have to pay. They stay there, they meditate, they do yoga, they do self-work and service work. So it's a fantastic energy on the place. And of course, it's the wheel chakra of the world. And many people know I'd come from Glastonbury, the heart chakra, which lines up with the wheel chakra. So I went from one to the other. So we went to this oak tree, and we were doing some meditations. We were connecting with the land as a group. You know, it must have been at least 8 of us there on the first night. Not everyone got there in time. And then Debbie Solaris, we were letting go of some of our soul contracts, the contracts we've got in there. I will be honest, I did keep hold of a couple of them, not quite finished with them yet, but that was beautiful. And after all these rituals and all these connections, when a few of us there, we pushed out and we went out to have some kind of CE5, you know, to cease some crafts or something. And I'd even had a message, which you can actually back me up on this, because I said to you before that I had a strong message that we were going to see something, and there was going to be a numerous amount of people that had never actually witnessed anything like this that they did believe. And this happened on the first night. So a few of us stayed there, and there's about 10 or 12 of us. If I'm correct, Arish, the guy who was in the hypnosis, who channeled the Uma beings, which are like cat-like beings. Me and him and myself were the only 2 there that I think that had ever seen anything like this. And it was they put on a show for us, Scotty. It was clearly a show. It was clearly for us. So we were looking up, and it was there's one. They were coming in. They were moving erratically. They were stopping over people, like right over people, disappearing. Bright lights were coming and going. Though there was only a small amount of footage taken because we were all just in this special moment as a group together. And so that was just the first night. And the very next day, I had people coming over there going, Brett, man, thank you so much. I've never, ever witnessed this. And this is just consciousness activating for me, which to me really touched me because I'd heard this message, you know. So that was just day 1 of the conference. So that's where I don't know if you want anything to add to that, or you want me to carry on?
Oh, I just think that's beautiful. I mean, and I know you bring that, you know, wonderful energy. So I'm not surprised to hear that you, that's right. I love you, little brother. Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that you brought that energy in. Exactly. Nothing but hearts for you, brother. And yeah, I mean, how special. And, you know, how special that you and maybe your friend from Ireland, you said, was he Irish?
Australia.
Australia.
Down under, mate. G'day.
Yeah, down under, mate. Down under, mate.
No, my precious. Please don't say the wrong thing, Scott. Where's the precious water?
please give me the water. I thought I'd throw that out there, a little smeagol for everybody. The precious water. I don't want water. I want coffee. But yeah, I mean, yeah, how special that you both were able to, bring that energy in, and then all these other people were able to experience. And I would believe it's off of your energy because I do believe that, the aliens or, light beings, in whatever's there, does resonate with certain people. And I believe that you're definitely a conduit, little brother, where you want to be or not, you are definitely a conduit. So that is beautiful, Dan. I love that you're sharing your experiences. So, also, I heard about you had a little thing about maybe the rocks were vibrating. Maybe they were maybe even talking. And also, what about Debbie Solaris? Debbie Solaris had a little talk down by the water, right?
Yeah, I mean, just with the craft turning up, it's like they were there for the All Shift Happily now, and there's a lot of powerful and beautiful beings that were part of that. So, and it was an incredible show. I just can't even explain to you. It was just I counted over 20 of them. They were coming in, moving. They were stopping. They were, they were stopping over people. It was just an incredible experience. And of course, a lot of this conference for me, it's about the people and the communities. And a lot of them I'd already known, or they knew me from online. I knew them we'd spoken to, but I met so many incredible beings. And I'm hoping that Joni's still on here, and she would be one of them. So her and Andrea, they're from Iceland, and these are the ones I was telling you about with the dragon connection, Scotty. And we were bumping in all the time. I absolutely loved their energy. And they channeled the dragon and the dragon language, which was just so incredible to be in the presence when that come in. And I know one day we've done a lot of meditations there, in group mass meditations, which is very powerful. We can affect the reality field. And when you join together in meditation, this has been proven on studies where they've done in some of the most dangerous criminal areas. When beings of love and light have come and they pushed in love and light into the reality field, the crime has gone down for like up to a month since their meditation. So meditations are very powerful. But I remember one day, Joni was saying that she would nearly channeled the dragon energy through the meditation. They started making these sounds and all this, and she almost broke in. I so wish she had it done in the middle of the meditation, because I would have laughed. But yeah, we had many cool things. So Debbie Solaris was doing a talk in nature, so we went out, and it was quite a fun day. We were walking through the woods. She was talking about different kinds of elemental beings, and how the different densities and the frequency. That was very interesting. But like you say, man, the Exton Stones, I mean, they were calling me from as soon as I heard about them, and Tim mentioned that place was calling me in. What an incredible area it is. It's just unbelievable. It just doesn't fit into the landscape there. So you walk in and there's these huge rocks that have come out from nowhere. And the legends go that Tim was telling us from the Germanic tribes is that they were once beings or once giants, and they forgot that they were consciousness. This is a story they tell, but you can tell there, and there's evidence in martyrs. So there's caves and openings of these sound chambers where I stood up to, and I went and I was and it vibrates. So this would be to get into consciousness states. You can walk up all of them. There's like a gateway, a portal into nowhere, and then it's where the sun. And again, like I always speak about these sacred sites where they match up with star systems, the equinoxes, and the summer solstice, the winter solstice, so the suns will come through to certain places. And they had a sarcophagus there, which is carved out of stone, and it's down the bottom by the lake, and you can lay in it. There is some videos on my page on that. And obviously we know that stone crystal under pressure can sorry, Scotty, I lost my flow there, boy. Can affect frequency and vibration, and even create vortexes. And I've watched a lot of people laying in this, and people were shaking. I went in it twice. It was very intense. I was doing breathwork meditation in it. And some of the breath work that we do, I was activating my energetic body. I was doing the breath work, and I couldn't do more than 30 minutes the second time. I had to get out because I was starting to cramp. I was shaking. You were feeling true effects there. So yeah, that was also another incredible day. So many people had things from the stones, and quite often people can get downloads. I personally didn't, But there was a beautiful, I'd gone up and down the stones a few times, and one of the times I was up there on one of them, I right up the top, and I bump into a beautiful being named Sarah Brexman. And Sarah's like, "Hey, Brett, how are you?" I'm good, darling. How are you? And she goes, "Brett," and I was like, "Yes." She goes, "Would you like to come Indiana Jonesing with me?" And I mean, come on, that's got to get some fireworks going, isn't it? I let me thumbs up again. Oh, there we go. So I was exploring around with Sarah Brexman, and some people may know this. I was born with 6 fingers on this hand. I don't know if you can see that. I can't really show it on the camera. It's cut off now, but I had a thumb like that. So I was born with 6 fingers, which is something that's puzzled me. And I was talking to her about that, and she mentioned to me that can have a bloodline back to Atlantis bloodline. And she said quite often the people that have these bloodlines going right back to this ancient bloodline, they can be born with extra fingers, extra toes. And I rung you up immediately when I got back and told you this, extra nipples, which you have, right? So we're Atlantis brothers.
I'm not going to show mine, though. You can show your thumb, but sorry, y'all, I ain't going to show my 3rd nipple. And yeah, the dragon energy, I mean, personally, I know you, me. I mean, it's so awesome that you met these girls from Iceland, and they were willing to let you know that they actually channel and have a language of dragons. Because when I had my dragon vision, I mean, the dragon was here. And I don't know if anybody else in the community or our other ramblers have had the experience of a dragon. We'll be doing that on our next one. But my dragon was here, and I know Brother Brett, you know, he's seen his golden dragon. I've seen my red dragon. Jackie has seen her white dragon. So that is so special that you even got that connection. I mean, what an awesome event. How special. All shift happily now, my brother. And a couple people are here. So, you know, we got Bernard, Billy, Joni, and Joshua. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Brett's telling about his experience in Germany to get you all caught up. Yeah, and Tara's here too. Hi, Tara. So yeah, meeting soul family, universe, connecting us. Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely connecting us.
Well, Joni is one of my little dragons, and I love my dragons. So, and they also gifted me with a beautiful present of some volcanic rock from Iceland, which had, as soon as I touched it, I feel that, and that's got a very special place by my bedside cabinet. So yeah, I mean, the dragon energy, the dragon frequency has come back with a vengeance. Very new to me, this maybe 6 months, 7 months. I'm not like I didn't believe in that. Like I said at the end of our last live, I mean, we've seen the bones of dinosaurs. It's not really that far out, is it? You know, we've seen that there's not far away from a dragon. But it's everywhere I've been, even in Glastonbury, I had it. You know, I went in Glastonbury and I had random people that had nothing to do with the conference just walking up to me and going, "The Golden Dragon has a message for you." And I'm like, what? You know, because I've witnessed and seen this, and the dragon energies are certainly back. And though they can be a mix of dragons, they can be malevolent, they can be benevolent, but hey, so can human beings. So there are definitely beautiful dragon energy, and the dragon energy is coming back with a vengeance. And it was certainly at the conference, you know, it certainly was at the conference. And yeah, that's a beautiful thing that we can talk openly about this. And, you know, some people might think, whoa, that's a bit out there, but, you know, we both witnessed this, and you know, and then when we seem to be having it at a very similar time. And then we finally spoke about it, and it was great comfort knowing that, you know, oh, I'm not batshit crazy, you know. But yeah, so getting back to the conference, Sarah Brexman does some hypnosis as well. She done hypnosis on 2 people. One of them was Arash, which he channeled these beings called the Omar, which are very similar to Lyran's kind of type. I think they might be from a similar star system, though he made it very clear they're not Lyrans. They don't, you know, and I imagine a lot of people, when they get maybe telepathic or communication from these beings, they may assume through pop culture that they are the Lyrans. They had a very interesting take. I have shared this video on the Ramblers page. It's on there somewhere. They had a very interesting take on the Galactic Federation as well. They weren't all with that. So they're not always with them, and they're very rebellious, very powerful beings. And the channeling was absolutely just so interesting. I mean, I met the guy, and I spent an awful lot of time with him. He was such a genuine guy. We've still been chatting on WhatsApp since we got back, and that was pretty cool. And also Sarah Brexman done a group hypnosis. So as that begun, she was doing a talk before, which lasted maybe 30, 35 minutes. The second the talk, I was writing, I checked myself because I've always wanted to be put under hypnosis. It's like a bucket list for me. And for Sarah Brexman to do it, I'm a big fan of her. So I told her that every time I saw her, I was hugging her, like, come here. And she's such a beautiful being, you know. And so as she was talking, and she was talking about the eye colors and the bloodlines and what that means to ancient DNA, but I was getting myself, I was doing breath work very loudly, and a lot of people come to me afterwards and say, man, I said, what are you doing, Brett, you know? And I passed on Sandy, you know, good old Sandy's breath work to a few people, because you can activate your energetic body. So I really got in I was in a complete meditative state before the hypnosis start, and I was already starting to see things coming in, like, you know, that can happen, so that we knew we weren't alone on there. And she took us through hypnosis, and I saw some things on hypnosis. It was pretty amazing. One of them I shared with you, which I'd love to share with the group, which was my Knights Templar connection. I saw myself as a Knights Templar, as you know, I know you did. And part of what I actually saw was Scotty and I, with some others, were in battle. Scotty sadly got his head chopped off, so Scotty was dead, and I really felt the emotion of this. I was very sad, very angry. And I was like watching it through a film, but feeling the emotions. And at that point, I wanted to die. So I ran into like 10 guys, and I was so angry that I ended up slaughtering them all. I was covered in blood. And I was stood over Scotty, like wanting to kill myself, but knowing, like, as a Knights Templar, I can't do that. So this was just incredible. And again, when I went to Glastonbury, so much Knights Templar come back. And I went into the Abbey and places like this, I immediately found these little, the Templars leave their mark, and they cut it out, and they've got it in Scotland as well. And also when I was in the Chalice, the White Springs temple, and I'd done the plunge, I also saw Knights Templars. So it was just incredible. And it was literally like, I can only explain it like I was watching a movie. Sarah was going through it quite fast, so that experience might have been a few minutes. I saw that, and then I was on like it seemed like another planet. It was very red. It felt like a different energy than Earth, and a lot of red colors were on it, you know, and the plant life was red and stuff like that. And I also saw like a mantis, white mantis being, and that was certainly another incredible experience for me. But you know, it's just the community there, man. I mean, what can I say? The people there, it was so much fun. We had great time. And every morning, so the first morning I woke up quite early. I went outside, I sat on this little bench, just watching the view. I was just sat there, and then this German guy comes up, named Mark, which I made friends of him pretty quick. He was one of the yoga teachers, or yoga master, and a meditation master. He's been doing service, so he's been teaching, but for the last 6 months, he's now what they call self-work. And the guy meditates for 10 hours a day. And he was teaching me some meditation techniques of certain breath works to activate my crown. And he was telling me, explaining, like, after the 10 hours meditation, what it's like and how you can flip around your fields, you can turn yourself back, all this amazing stuff. But he sits down, he pulls out a nice fat spliff with weed. He starts smoking it. He turns around to me and he goes, "Hey, Brett, do you smoke? Do you smoke weed?" I went, "Yeah, man." I said, "I go where the energy flows." I said, "Yeah, I smoke weed." He goes, "I always bring two." And then he gives me a joint. So every morning, like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd go to this little spot, see him every morning. And they were having a nice smoke. So I was turning up to breakfast, which was salad and rice and yogurt. It's like a big smile on my face, living up to the name Brett Smiler. And one night, a few people come up to me in the conference, a few of the sweet people, and they're like, "Brett, I heard you got some weed from some guy." I was like, "Hey," and weed's legal in Germany, by the way. If anyone doesn't know that, it's not in the UK, but it is illegal, and it's legal in Germany. And I said, "Yeah, I know a guy." So I kind of rang him up. I said, I hope I haven't disturbed your meditation. I've been finished about 30 minutes. But what's up, man? How can I help? I said, "Well, I've got some pilgrims that are on a mission." And he started laughing. And I said, "They're after a little bit of weed." I said, "Look, man, if you need some money, some funding, they're willing to pay." He said, "Meet me at the bench, Brett." So a whole group of us left the conference, went to the bench, and Mark turned up and he bought a big jar, and some cigarettes and some Rizla, and handed the jar to me. I said, "Right, how much do you want for that?" He wouldn't accept any money. And then I didn't keep it. I passed it to the pilgrims, and then we all smoked some weed, and we were laughing and having great fun. So that was good fun, you know. And it was just all about the connections there. I made so many friends there, you know, like my lovely dragons. I love them, and of course Naomi, which I've been in contact with a
You
lot.
make me want to go to Germany.
Sorry, say that again, Scotty.
You make me want to go to Germany.
It was what I expected, man. Like the people just incredible, and obviously the food wasn't quite. There was a lot of vegans there. I'm not saying the food was bad because it wasn't, but by the second day, my body's going, bread. I need some meat, bread. I need some meat, and I need some coffee. So a few of us went into town. A few of the lads, actually, funny enough, and we had a bit of bro time because it was probably 90% feminine energy and 10% masculine energy. So, I love the feminine energy. I love hanging around with females and feminine, and I can connect with them very well. But every so often, a man just needs a bit of bro time, right, Scott? And I'm sure with the females who hang around males, every so often you need a bit of female time. So we went into town, and the German people were just so friendly, so happy and laughing, very welcoming. And we went into town and we found these huge pork skewers with bread on the top, so we had some of them. And we found a pop-up bar which had a round table, so we all got round the round table, had a few pints, and I just made some. It was just an incredible time, Scotty. I'm probably forgetting so much of other stuff that happened, but it really was, because we're all staying in the same place. It wasn't like other conferences, so we're all staying in the Astrum. So as you walk around every corner, you're bumping into someone. Everyone knows I'm a hugger, so I hug. And, it just really felt like we were a family and a community. And, Tim done some fantastic talks about being seven, the levels of consciousness, which some people know. And on the level 7 consciousness is the unified field of source, which we all come from. So we done some fantastic talks. Sarah Zula was doing a fantastic healing work and coaching, and it was 2 masculine energies. Greg, which I wasn't there actually on Greg's one, I missed that. So I missed that one. I was actually out with Joe, and me and Joe were having a bonding time in town. Though I didn't really need Sarah, though I've had the coaching from Sarah, and she's worked her magic on me. But I found it very special that Greg was one that went up, and then the next day she done it again, and Eric went up. So 2 of the masculine energy, and it was very emotional. I mean, Eric was having a hard time with his daughters. I wouldn't want to speak too much for him, but I had tears because I've got daughters, and I know how hard we can be made to feel as parents sometimes. And it's great to see the masculine energy being healed by Sarah Zula. And Debbie also done another talk about galactic origins, and also a lot to do with the Germans and the Nazis, which is a very fascinating lecture as well. And it was just an awesome time, man. I mean, it really was. I mean, it was just a mind-blowing experience, and I'm so blessed to have been given the scholarship. And on my video, I did say at the end, I know you guys would choose the right person, so I just hope I lived up to my own words, and I feel like I had some very special connections and moments with almost every single. There was over 100 people there, and I think, I'm not saying 100%, but in the 90%, I had a special moment and connection with every single person in that conference.
Yeah, what an awesome experience, and what an awesome opportunity to be handed to you like that. That is just so great. And, to have all those beautiful souls and all these beautiful people coming together in one spot, everybody's light together shining. It's got to lower that veil. So, bringing all that energy in together is just going to create, up and coming times will be just looking beautiful. I mean, everybody grouping together, everybody, becoming one family, one soul family, one tribe. I think it's beautiful, bro. And I'm so glad that you got to have that experience. And thanks for sharing your experience with all of us too, because I know so many people were interested in what happened over there. So yeah, it's great to get that out and let everybody know how special that was. And, everybody can see that, like even Germany is so beautiful. The people are beautiful. I mean, everywhere around the world, people are becoming, more and more aware, more consciousness is opening up. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing that's happening. And I'm part of, glad to be part of this lifetime, this time realm, this time reality that we all can come together. And one thing that's great is technology, because we can use these phones, because back in the day, I would have had to write you a letter and it would have took a month to get to you. And then next thing you know, hey, I love fireworks. Yeah, I would have wrote you a letter, a month later, you get back to me, or we would have had a phone call, and then it would have charged us, super amount of money to make a long distance call. So, I mean, this is just an awesome point in time. And I'm so glad that you had a great experience with All Shift Happily Now. And, I guess Tara had a question for you. Did you get to meet Linda Moulton Howe? Was Linda Moulton Howe there?
I've never met Linda. She's an incredible part of Disclosure, and again, she was way ahead of the times, but she wasn't there. I got to spend a fair bit of time with Tim. I didn't take too much of his time because a lot of people want the energy, and I'm blessed to be, I'm on the All Shift Happily Now meditations. I do get calls from Tim occasionally. I have had calls, and I can voice note him, and he quite often gets back to me. So, I mean, what I would say is like how special it is, like you're saying, that they want to divide us, and they want us to have they want to program our beliefs, and they want to divide us against each other. And what's happening in the world now is people from all over the world are meeting. And there's a guy called Chris there, who's from Germany, and we were talking one time. We were walking in town, we had a beer. I love the guy, he's great energy. Everyone had a great energy, but I was chatting with him, and we were discussing how our grandparents, would have been more or less fighting each other and hated each other, and how now we're sat there in Germany drinking beer together, laughing and hugging, and we're healing that trauma. And they want to divide us. They want us to hate each other. But I come in life with an open mind, an open heart, and I've certainly got open arms for everyone. And I think, like you're saying, it's a beautiful time now where we don't need to be divided, and we come together as human beings, or dragons, or ETs, or just fractal projections of source, that we come together in love and unity, and we are going to change the world through this together, because we've had enough of the manipulation, we've had enough of the division, and we all bleed, and we all feel, and I think we can all agree that we want a peaceful time on earth, and we want to move our civilization into the golden age. So I'm very thankful to be part of the All Shift Happily Now community. I'm part of a few communities. Obviously the Ramblers is big to my heart as well. Cosmic Disclosure has been great to me, and the people and the insiders on there have been very, very good to helping me, and with some of my experiences. And I'm just blessed to be a part of it. And I've been part of the All Shift Happily Now community from the very beginning, since I saw on Gaia TV, and I had the simple mantra, all shift happily now, earth shift happily now. That made a lot of sense to me. I'm very proud to be part of that community, and we're unifying with people all over the world, and we come together in love and light, and we are here on earth to balance out the energies and push us into the next golden age, which is long overdue. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, like you were saying, I think it's we're healing old timelines too by all of us coming together. Like you said, I told you my experience with the Knights Templar and stuff, and being out on a battlefield with you, I actually experienced that myself. But I could smell the rain. There was rain. I remember how cold I could even feel that it was cold, and I could smell metal. And then I look behind and I see you. And I think that it's even then, Brett, back then, even in my vision, I had Brett standing behind me, and he was also covered in blood in my vision. I was actually down on a knee, and I look behind and I see, I felt Brett's personality, I felt his aura, I felt everything, and that's how I knew. And the funny thing, everybody, is I look back, and Brett's been warring, and all he does is smile and laugh, and I definitely knew that was Brett at the time. I was like, that is Brett. I feel it in my heart chakra, everything. So, and coming across, coming into these communities too, we're finding people that become friends, and then all of a sudden it's family. Like you and I mean, I've never felt so close to somebody, becoming a brothership like that. And I mean, I love you, Brett. You're my brother. I mean, I'm so glad that, we come through on this lifetime and we're able to find each other again. And there's so many, others that are out there that are coming into our soul tribe, and, they're coming in to be actually family of ours. And it's just awesome that everybody can come together. And like you said, the round table, I just love, the idea of having the round table and you having beers around a round table. I mean, man, I love hearing that. That is just so awesome. And have one other thing that was about Tim. Tim talked about the 300 German scientists creating a portal near the big stones.
Yeah, there was 300 scientists involved. I've known about this story for a while. So they were using high energy and high frequency to create portals. Apparently they did have some success. Apparently a group did walk through them portals, though they never come out the other side yet, though they may have come in their perspective. It might be in up and coming times. But it's sad to say that the 300 scientists that were involved were executed and shot and their family were told they died. They were bombed. They didn't want the technology or that getting out or any chance of anyone talking about it. So they did kill all 300 scientists, I'm afraid. And that was quite standard behavior in them times. And I would say that even CIA in America and their projects have probably done similar things with certain scientists at some point. So yeah, very sad thing, but they did create a portal there, and it's on this huge wheel chakra. And also another thing now is that the only place the Romans were really beaten was in Germany. There was by these tribes when they were on the wheel chakra. They could not beat the will of these people there, and the energies there were just incredible. And I mean, there was mushrooms everywhere, different types of everywhere you look. There was mushrooms and energy, and even the guy Mark who meditated, I told him I was going there, and he said, "Oh man," he goes, "There's the Exton stones, but in the forest there's other stones that aren't mapped on." And he said some of these places have got more energy than the other ones. It's a very powerful place. And yeah, I mean, up the top you literally go up, and then I'll find a picture, and I'm bound to have a picture on my phone. I'll share it on there. Well, there's a picture, a nice picture of me and Sarah Brexman there actually, and you can clearly see it's a portal. You know, you can clearly see that this would have been opened up to some kind of portal. Maybe that's where they walked through. I don't know, but as a guess, I would say it's there. It's like a door. It's like one of these doorways, you know, as you see all over the place, and in many temples, sacred sites, and energy centers. Quite often there's just random doorways, or sometimes it's carved into the actual stone. There's just a door into the rock, and what are they doing here? You know, they used to use them as stargates or portals or point-to-point technology, which sounds insane, but as many of us know and understand now, that everything in the universe, every version, every timeline, all gets squeezed into a single point of a unified field, and it spreads out. So in actual fact, everything is quantumly entangled, including us. Well, every part of the universe is actually inside of our DNA. It's a very beautiful paradox there. And these stargates and portals were used at certain cycles on Earth for people to come in and out, beings to come in and out and visit. So yeah, it was a fantastic place, man. I'd loved you to be joining around that round table. But also, I think this is very important. This is like these soul groups, and these people are reconnecting. And now quite often we find we have been spread out across the world and on different vibes, and sometimes having lonely and quite lonely experiences, because we are different. But we chose to do this, and we had to be placed around the world to do grid work, because our energies are affecting the reality field of Earth. And now this is a beautiful time where we're coming to start to meet back up. And like you say, using the beautiful technology of AI, because AI is doing this right now, we are able to communicate with each other. And not only that, other people on the round table can join us through this technology. And it's a beautiful time now where we're all finding each other again, and we're all finding our purpose and our points, that we are here for a mission. And we had to be split up. Though I always say, if we'd all been put in one place, man, it would have been an amazing place to live. But it probably wouldn't have done great for the collective consciousness. So we were spread out for a reason. And many of us would have had past lives together. Reincarnation is a real thing. It makes in the quantum reality, it's the only thing that makes sense, actually, because energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. Intelligent energy, though, can change form. And that's what the level, coming from source, for the levels of consciousness, we change forms. And we can even do that on an interdimensional level. So there could be other versions of us right now having experiences in other places, you know. That's how powerful the universe and God is.
Yeah, it sounded like you just had a great spiritual, connection with everybody there too, man. That's just beautiful. I'm so glad you got a chance, and I'm so glad that you got picked for that. Thank you, Tim, for accepting my little brother Brett. We appreciate you, Tim. We love All Shipped Happily Now. Is there anything else that you wanted to add in telling people what Germany was about?
Well, I can't think of anything more, though. There's so much more that happened. But I think I've shared some important moments, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity, Scott. So I appreciate that. And of course, I just want to give a massive thank you to the community that were there, and the people that I was honored to spend that time with, and get to know them and reconnect. And we had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and a lot of hugs. And there was so much love in that place that, we just feel Germany full of love. The All Shift Happily Now tribe turned up. They knew about it. They could feel it. And it was an incredible time. I especially want to give thanks to Tim. He's helped me out with a lot of my experiences with the Greys and understanding them as a species, which I've been searching for answers. through the pop culture and the disinformation. It was very negative, though I can understand how they can kind of be perceived that way. Though a lot of that was purposely in place, so I'm very thankful for that. And of course, I'm just feel so blessed and loved. I've never won anything in my life, man. I've never been chosen for anything in my life. And that, for me, this is the first moment was to be this conference with the people I got to meet and spend time with, and the experiences I had and shared with these beautiful, powerful beings. It's, I'm getting emotional. It's in my heart. So I just love you guys. I love all this community, all of us together. We've got important work. And just all I'd say to everyone is just keep being your unique frequency, keep being you, keep shining your light, open up to what you are. And if it doesn't fit into the group conformity in the programming of Earth, so what? Be you, because you are perfect and you are beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautifully said, brother. Yeah, I always hear Jackie, always mentioning, and I picked that up from her too. And she's taught me a lot about, shining your light. And, we watch several shows and stuff about people shining their light, and it's lowering that veil, and it's bringing people in together, because where one light shines, other lights want to come shine with it, and it takes away that darkness, even though our darkness will always be with us. Because, I mean, no matter which way you turn, your shadow is always there. You'll always have darkness with you. And when you can carry that darkness too into the light and, embrace it and give it love. I know people think that's crazy, but it's not crazy. You need to love the darkness. You need to love your darker side and bring it to light and share your experiences with people, because that's how we all become one. Is sharing our experiences, sharing our love. And yeah, that was just, awesome, bro. Just really appreciate you coming and, telling all about your experience in Germany. That was just beautiful. And I look forward to doing our Dragon Talk next week. So that'll be awesome. Super looking forward to that.
Yeah, so come and join us about the beautiful dragons. They deserve a life all of their own, and they'll get.
Armani just popped in. So hi, Armani. Hi, Luna. Wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to your little daughter there. What's up, Armani?
I just wanted to add one thing to what you said, actually, because that reminded me of something that I got in the hypnosis, which was a strange message, which I was trying to write down at the end, and Tim went on the microphone, and I spoke to you about this, and it's similar to what you just said. So the message I got is something like, you must not be afraid to stand in the shadow to protect the light, or something like that. So that you just said that, and that just reminded me. Though I couldn't get it written down, I was writing down all the stuff that happened, and then Tim was on the microphone. Dinner time, and it was like, phew, it's like when a dream. Like this hypnosis, it's like it goes quick. Like Sarah said, it goes quick, and it is. It's like when you wake up and you have that amazing dream, and you're like, wow, that was awesome. What was awesome? But it was something around them lines, and how important it is, not to shy away from the shadows. It was to protect the light. You must stand in the shadows, or embrace the shadows, because like you say, it's a universe of polarity, and the shadows certainly do exist, and we can't shy away from that. So I'd like to end on that. Much love.
Much love, everybody, and thank you for joining our live again. And we just appreciate all you ramblers out there, and we will see you on Saturday. I hope you have a beautiful day today, and sending our love and light to everybody. And I'll talk to you later, little brother. Sending much love to you. Tell Mariana we said hi. Tell the girls we said hi. We love them. Hi, Mariana. We love you, sweetheart. Later, guys.